Hello everyone, thank you for attending this launch webinar for the DigiPrep project. So I think a lot of you have already met us during the first webinar in May. So for people that are attending this new webinar, don't worry, we will bring to the table a lot of new information. And for the newcomers, we will get in detail about all DigiPrep can offer. So don't you worry, you can catch up everything and see how DigiPrep can help you. So on the agenda, we will start by an introduction to DigiPrep presented by Malin. Then we will go into detail about the innovation support program, which will be presented by Mark. Then we will go more in detail about the open call and how you can apply to it with Isabelle. And then we will see the matchmaking process with Aldo. And to end this presentation, we have the question and answer session. So if you keep your question for the end of the webinar, and we will answer it at the end. So I leave the floor to Malin.
Well, thank you so much, Alex. And I also want to take the opportunity to say hello and welcome to everybody who's joined us here today. This webinar is a result of us opening our open call yesterday. So we are very happy to provide you with this opportunity to learn more about DigiPrep, but also to finally be able to share the actual details of this call and for you to be able to start your applications. Would you please change the slide, Alex? So we will, of course, tell you everything you need to know about DigiPrep, but at first we want to give you a bit of context and background to why we are doing this and why this project has come to life. As you all know, we are facing global health threats, such as non-communicable diseases. These are also known as chronic diseases, of course, which tend to be very long of duration. You have them for a long period of time. And they are often the result of a combination of genetic, physiological, environmental, and behavioral factors. The same goes for unhealthy lifestyle habits, such as tobacco use, which is increasing, harmful use of alcohol, also increasing, physical inactivity, also increasing, just to name a few. And concluded they all increase the risk of dying from these non-communicable diseases. Did you, for example, know that 74% of worldwide deaths are due to these kinds of diseases, ranging from diabetes, cancer, and heart disease. So it's a major concern and should be for all of us. We are also looking at mental health conditions that you might have heard are increasing worldwide. There's figures pointing to that around 20% of the world's children and adolescents are now facing mental health conditions, and suicide is the leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds. These are super alarming numbers. But mental health conditions can also have a substantial effect on all areas of life, such as your school, work performance, your relationships with your family and friends, and I mean, your general ability to just participate in the community. Two of the most common mental health conditions, depressions and anxiety, costs the global economy over $1 trillion each year. So this is issues that have major impact also on the economy. We are also facing aging populations across the globe. That is, in a way, positive, of course, that we live longer, but in another sense, it can be somewhat challenging. We live longer, but we also face chronic diseases as we grow older, and often multiple diseases even, leading to a greater need for healthcare and treatment, which can put a strain on the society at large. We also see increased inequity in the society. Among different groups, we see that people with a better social position have an increased chance to live a life with better quality and a larger well-being. So just to conclude, all of this points to a very big urgency, and it's real. It's here, and it's today, and it's now, which means that we need to start addressing this. And by that, we need new solutions on the market as soon as possible to react to these threats that we face. And this is why DigitPre has come to life. It's not the only solution, but it can definitely be a piece of the puzzle on how we respond to this. Alex, will you please change the slide for me? Thank you. So which challenges should we meet? I mean, these are global. They are so big and so complex. And there is no one solution to fix it all. So how should we choose which challenges to address and to focus on? For the first half year of DigitPre, of this project, we were very dedicated to finding our own set of prioritized challenges, and we have now found them thanks to a very intense and detailed process where we used a bottom-up approach. We started by deep diving into our respective regions. We are 10 regions covered in this project, where we all hosted open innovation spaces, where we gathered stakeholders from all perspectives, ranging from patients to consumers, to companies, to SMEs, to multi-globals, to regional representative, and also to healthcare professionals. And by doing this, we got a 360-degree view on the situation. And from that, we could aggregate and prioritize the regional challenges into a final set. It was, and it still is, very important to us to focus on the demand. This is a demand-led process and also demand-led project. So the perspective of the individual end user is very important. We do not want to create a bunch of new apps that just float around in the market, but by including the target audiences and the patients and other professionals, it reassures us that there is a need out there and a want out there that is concrete and where we see direct urgencies to fulfill. Click. Thank you, Alex. So what are the final challenges that we cover within this project, and how could you address them? You see them here. It's mental health, rehabilitation, neurological conditions, it's healthy lifestyle, and health and aging. They are all connected, as you can see, to the global health challenges that I talked just about. And we are all facing them more or less in all across our regions. What we also found during this analysis stage is that we don't have the same capabilities across Europe to solve these challenges. We need to work on this together to fix it. And this is also why we are bringing DigitPre to the table. Because due to the nature and setup of the project, it will help to provide a more equal access to new and smart solutions, and also at the same time establish knowledge sharing across partners, companies, and regions. So the project is by default designed to increase or to provide a more cohesive approach across Europe. Click. So the core concepts within DigitPre is that this project has a focus on specifically on consumer-facing solutions, and we are targeting prevention, prediction, and remote care. Working with prevention is important to us because we want to prevent people from actually getting sick and adding to these statistics that I mentioned earlier. and also, of course, prevent individuals suffering, to say the least. The project will offer customized support in order to help companies get their markets and their products to market faster as a direct response to these societal needs. And this will be done in the form of an innovation support program. You will learn a lot more about the innovation support program in the coming hour here. So I will just say a few words. It's up to a 15-month long journey where you have tailored support. You will receive access to funding from the project, but also access to investor networks and pitching opportunities, etc. So in a sense, we are both supporting SME growth and innovation, and at the same time improving public health, which to us is both a no-brainer and a win-win. Click. So who can apply? Who can be a part of this? Well, you need to have your SME status according to the European Union definition. You need to have a consumer-facing product or service, meaning that it is intended to meet the needs, preferences, demands of end users to maintain or improve their state of health. By talking about end users, it could be individuals, it could also be patients, as long as the solution or product is not focused on the healthcare professional, but instead the patient or the end user. You need to be at a maturity level of 6 to 9 if you look at the technology readiness level scale. You have to be located in one of the DigiPre regions. We will get to those in a little bit. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. And also, you need to be part of a partnership. You need to team up with an SME that is located in another DigiPre region, which would then constitute a team of a lead partner and a supporting partner. You could also have a potential silent partner. We will talk a bit more about these structures in a little bit. But this is what you need to have sorted in order to be eligible to apply. Why are we then looking at this kind of setup? Well, like I mentioned, partnerships are increasingly important as we share the same challenges, of course, to a different variety, but they are all shared to some extent across the regions and across the nations of Europe as well. We need to see progress in all of these regions and markets where these partnerships across borders then become increasingly important. And maybe if we had a perfect world, we could encourage partnerships that it would include all the regions at the same time. But if we are to be a bit more pragmatic here, the approach for the project is to have partnerships of 2 to 3 instead. We also found it easier to start with a setup where we have one main partner, the lead partner, who is a bit more in charge. And then we have a complementing partner called the supporting partner. We believe that this structure might be easier to navigate than having 2 equal partners. We also see evidence from previous similar projects and other initiatives that these kind of partnership approaches is very beneficial in decreasing the time to market. The approach of using consumer-facing products or services, it's very easy in the sense that it's quicker to reach a market, the individual market or the consumer market, than moving into public healthcare, where you face procurement and other bureaucratic structures and processes. So we want fast impact. This by reaching for the consumer market, we believe that it's easier. It's also important for us to keep reminding ourselves that this needs to be demand-led. And by having consumer-facing solutions and products and services, we are constantly in tune with what needs are out there. So keeping the individual's focus in mind. And for the technology readiness level, we need a certain maturity for this acceleration program to work. There are so many wonderful opportunities out there for people who have ideas that are not yet at TRL 6. So we have decided that our focus and our work will be put into more of a scale-up stage than anything else. So you need to have a certain maturity for this kind of push that we offer to work. Yes, Alex, will you change the slides, please? So to conclude, this is really a unique opportunity to benefit from this partnership that we have established and since a year back is running, and there are so many wonderful people in this consortium who are experts in all lanes of business advice, IP, marketing, communication, team growth. I mean, there is so much expertise and advice and knowledge to be shared and to be used by SMEs who want to grow and get to market faster, or go international, or update your product with a new feature or a language or whatever. The opportunities are vast, and it's very much up to you what you want to do within the frame of this project. I think that was all for me. I will now call on the Netherlands and see if Mark is ready to take over.
Yes, thank you, Malin. I'm here, and hope you can all hear me. I'm Mark van der Zande from the Cluster Sports and Technology based in Eindhoven, the Netherlands, and proud part of this consortium of the DigitPre project. I'm very happy to see that there's so many participants joining us in this webinar, and also not to mention that if you are not following completely everything, we are recording this webinar, so afterwards you still can review it and get to the details of it if you miss some issues. And of course, we have a question and answer moment at the end of the webinar. So next slide, please. I'm going to tell you a bit about our innovation support program. Our approach, really a customized approach, not an acceleration program, but really a customized support program to help SMEs that have joined together as a team to bring a solution to the market. And basically with that, we will help you in all kinds of few points that you would like to be supported with. So it's really a made-to-measure program for each different innovation approach that you want to develop. So what you have heard about Malin telling about the areas and the challenges, and we, like you as SMEs, to respond to it with an innovation proposal and to improve your solution. And what we can do is help you with this improvement and also internationalize that. And I will tell you a little bit later what kind of things we can offer to you. We are now entering a phase that the call has been launched yesterday. We enter a phase where you can submit your proposals, and when selected, you will get a key account manager, CAM. We'll use the abbreviation because it's a little bit shorter. That will coach you through this innovation support program. And this CAM will be somebody that is from our consortium partners and from the different regions that we have connected in this project. And this person will be the guide to really take advantage of all the things that we are having within our network, within the consortium, being services, being funding, being new partners, being living lab approaches to test your proposition, etc., etc., etc. Next slide. So this is basically what we can offer for you in this support program. We can grant you access to new markets, to testbeds and or living labs where you can validate your solution, to knowledge on medical regulatory and legal issues, to capital investments, to public actors that are needed maybe to make benefit of your solution, and also to intellectual capital. So that's what we can provide to you. And we give also some support, financial support to the lead SME partner and the supporting SME partner. And we have also a service support. We have customized support services, which can come from all the different regions within this consortium. We have coaches, innovation and business experts that will guide you, not only the key account manager, but also additionally. And we can provide some training if needed. We have opportunities for validation and demonstration, and we can also support in the communication of it to really get attention from the market. And also we offer you pitch training and also investor days to connect to funding opportunities that really bring upscale your solution. Next one. But no, that one, yeah, exactly. But important, the key account manager is key for you because he can help you to find the best way to take advantage of all these offers that we can provide to you. Next one. If I go to the service and financial support, we can monetize a bit what we can offer. So the consortium services, as I described to you, we can offer it basically up to a value of about 130K, 140K, I should be pronouncing it a little bit better, per selected partnership. There's also financial support. For the lead SME partner, there's a max of 50K which you can get to be used, for example, staff cost, equipment, travel, and subcontracting. But for that, you also need to prove that you have an in-kind contribution of about maximum 30K. There's a balance between that because the lead party becomes a part of the DigitPre consortium. For the supporting SME partner, there's a less financial support, but also no need for in-kind contribution. So there's a less obligations around that. Next one. So what can we offer you as a support at this moment? Well, for some of you already know that we are helping you with the matchmaking. And for newcomers now today, we will still be able to provide you to help finding your international SME partner. You might have an offer, you think, okay, I want to bring it to a certain country, to a certain region, but I also need some kind of technology or some other knowledge, maybe market knowledge or whatever, or access to the end users. We can help you in finding the suitable partners. This will be explained a little bit later also in this presentation, but at least this is already ongoing, and there are a lot of activities going on the next 2 months in order to be able to build your mini consortium, I should say, your team, but also to build your proposal. I mean, we want you to build a proposal and submit it before the end of November, because from there on we will go and select the propositions that can be supported within the framework of our project. So this is what we have for you for the coming 2 months. And then next slide. From there on, we get a phase of selection, and the selection procedure will probably finish somewhere around January, February. We have some international independent evaluators that will look at the propositions. And then, of course, we need some interaction with the consortium to really connect the propositions towards our consortium. And then we are able to, first in March, to do some specific trainings and pitch training events that are for you to see what are your needs, what are your possibilities, how can you connect with the services that we can provide for you, and really get a plan for your 15 months support phase that we will able to provide you in this project. And basically, this support phase will last until around July 2025. Of course, if you need less time and less support, it can be done quicker, but at least that's the max that we can offer you in terms of providing support to maturing your solution and be ready to enter the market. Next one. So, in a wrap-up, these are the elements that we can provide to you. We can give access to your organization and your proposition with tools that have been validated already in the past in other projects and that have been come together in the past year. We'll be able to provide you access to really customized support and also customized services that we can give you from our consortium. Financial support, we will have frequent monitoring sessions with experienced innovation and business coaches to really mature your solution in the best proper way. Give you opportunity to validate and demonstrate in test markets which you have selected. Give you support on the communication so you have a better reach to the market, and also help you with reaching investors that you might need in order to upscale your solution to the different markets. So that's really making you ready for the international market launch. So this is what we can offer to you. But of course, you need then now to enter this open call. And therefore, next slide. I will hand over my word to the next presenter, Isabelle for Géronto-Paul, who will explain more about the open call.
Thank you, Mark. Hi, everyone. So now we will see how to apply and some practical information about the open call of DigitPray. Next slide, please. So why this open call? To select European consortia of small and medium-sized enterprises according to the SME definition from the European Commission. So here you have the link if you need it, because after this meeting we will share with you this presentation, so you will have the opportunity to click on the link. This SMEs develop digital health solution answering DigitPray challenges. So here, the same as for the SME, you can click on challenges, and you will have all the challenges presented on the open call page. In the domain of the prevention, prediction, and remote care. And as Malin said to you before, from TRL 6 to TRL 9, the TRL 6 technology has to be demonstrated in a relevant environment, and TRL 9 system proven in operational environment just before to go to the market. Next, please. Who can apply? Malin said some words about it at the beginning of the presentation. Here we summarized the thing. So 2 or 3 SMEs from 2 different regions within DigitPray. You have the opportunity, and it's optional, to have a silent partner. Silent partner could be academics, clusters, care establishments, SMEs who are not part of DigitPray region. The fact is that the silent partner could be part of your consortium, but won't have the DigitPray support. It's important to notice. So the project, it's a repetition, but the project has to be a minimum of the TRL 6. And its consortium needs a lead partner who will become a DigitPre partner. Next slide, please. If we go a little bit deeper in what are the consequences, the lead partner of the sub-project of your team becomes a DigitPre partner, which means is in the sub-project and in DigitPre consortium, which means more funds, as you have seen in Mark's presentation, and also administrative responsibilities with some activity reports and financial reports to provide in some milestones during the support program. Next slide, please. The application process. So, as you know now, the open call was launched yesterday for 2 months. You have till the 30th of November to submit your proposals. This is the deadline. After that, the evaluation period will begin, and there are some different steps in this evaluation, and we want to highlight here that we will have some external experts to evaluate the proposals. It won't be only DigitPre partners who will evaluate your proposal. After that, around February, there will be the publication of your selected sub-projects. And from March, we will begin the innovation support program. Next slide, please. How to present your proposal. Here, in your proposal template, you will see all these topics: the excellence and innovation, the impact and route to market, the implementation, the team. All these topics have to be described in your proposal, and you have to know that in the evaluation grid provided to the external evaluators, all these topics will be in it. So you will be evaluated about your objective, project, the concept and the method, for example, the product maturity, or the support needs, the environmental and sustainable plan of your project, and some description about your partner and the role you will have during this support program. Next slide, please. So here, how to prepare your application. A full application is composed of 4 documents, which you will have the templates to fill in, and they are available on the link just next to the table. You have a project proposal, a PowerPoint pitch with 10 slides, where you describe as a pitch what you did in your project proposal, a GDPR form signed by each partner, which is a document about the personal data management during the support of the sub-project, and each partner of your team should sign it. The declaration of honor also, and after that you have some document to provide. For example, a proof of achievement TRL 6 for the product or services in focus of the sub-project, which could be a video, a leaflet, a presentation of your activities, this kind of stuff. After that, you have the company registration certificate from each SME partner, the liability insurance certificate for each partner also, an ID or passport copy for the lead partner, and the verification of company's financial status from each company, each SME partner, which is not a bank statement, but a proof of the connection between your stated account and the SMEs. I think that's it for me. Just to let you know that you can find all the call documents on the link you can see just above the table, and everything is now available on the open call page on the website of DigitPre. And now I leave the floor to Aldo for the matchmaking part.
Thank you so much, Isabel. I hope everyone can see me. Yeah. Hello to everyone. My name is Aldo Vermiglio, and I'm part of the DigiPre team working in Sweden from the Innovation Skåne side, but together with everyone in the group, and more specifically focused on the matchmaking process. So for all of you attending today and who are actually interested in applying, especially for the ones that have been exposed to this initiative not so long ago or even today, you might be wondering, how difficult it is to find someone else, another company in another region. It might seem a bit complicated and overwhelming. So we've basically, in response to that, because we know it is an interesting way forward, the team is trying to take a very active approach on that, and trying to facilitate the search, exploration, and perform the meetups that are needed between SMEs to start germinating these relationships between potential partners and potential interesting things between each company. Yeah, next, thank you. So we've addressed this into like a three-way spoke action plan that runs parallel to each other. The first one, which is the platform, it's a public platform in the DigiPre website in which you could perform matchmaking. Everyone can sign up. It is not binding to actually applying to the project. It's public, and everyone who has signed up or everyone who hasn't yet can actually see the different profiles of the different companies that are interested in the project. We actually, at the moment, are already about 60 companies signed up. So whoever that hasn't seen it, please go ahead and do so. Secondly, and parallelly, we give active support to every SME that is interested in the project and interested in performing a match with somebody in another region. And I put a picture there of an auction, and it's a bit on how we are working internally to try to perform the most matches the possible. And I'll tell you a little bit about the process. So after digging in a little bit into a one-to-one conversations with each of the SMEs interested, which has been already happening in the past few months, each partner in the region, we actually meet the whole consortium, the ones focused on specifically on matchmaking, and actually pitch your companies to each other. And there, in those weekly sessions, we start to come up with ideas of who could be potentially, or where could we potentially find synergies with the companies in other regions. And then, of course, come back to you with potential suggestions of companies that could be interesting. And then potentially, of course, putting up a first meeting for you to get to know each other, supported by us or not. It's up to you, basically. But we're trying to be there all the time to try to support you through this process. And then in the next few weeks, we'll also have a matchmaking week in which we'll try to create as much connections as possible, and for participants to have the opportunity to meet new potential partners in a much more constrained amount of time, just to be able to accelerate the process. Wait for info about that. It's coming soon. And in general, the approach we're trying to take there here is that, given that we're trying to follow through very closely on how these matches are going on, the idea is to be very reactive to how things are going out there, and what difficulties or what opportunities we see in you guys, the SMEs that are interested in the project and trying to match. And if we need to take some kind of action, include an additional event for things to flow better, we'll do it until the close of the call. So we're always kind of on the run. Next, please. So a quick run through the matchmaking platform, the one that is in DigiPre's site. If you haven't done it yet, please sign up. As I mentioned, it's not binding, and you'll see that it has a series of features. Next, Alex, please. Where you can search for potential companies and partners according to different types of topics, like partnership type that they're looking for, challenges, organization type, what region is it from, all the way to the full company profiles, description, expertise, areas of cooperation, contact information, etc., etc. And if you find potential SMEs that could be interesting to you, you can contact them directly, or search for our support to be intermediaries. We'd like to support you in anything you need in this process. Next. And actually, next. And actually, things are happening already. And I'd like to bring a few examples that have been already happening in the past few months. Some have been already perfect matches. Others are conversations that are starting, that are going along all the way of companies that haven't been meeting. But I really wanted to give you a few real life examples of, for instance, two companies that have their own applications, but for different complementary purposes. Both apps are technically ready and have some customers they're not fully in the market yet. And what they found about how they could complement each other is that by combining their solutions and expertise, it'll give a more comprehensive solution towards the market. And in that way, they could get a geographically larger market, and then be able to offer the solution to a broader audience. For instance, that is one example. Another example is an organization aiming to promote more active and healthier lifestyle to young people, providing knowledge and on-the-ground physical activity sessions to schools, municipalities, etc., very local. Became interested in a company offering, for instance, augmented reality scavenger hunts, which trace local outdoors like nearby forests or playgrounds, and create trails with gamification. And so the potential value of this connection is that they could take that physical training and take it even a step further with an AI gamified solution that could extend that physical activity after the training was finished. Another example is a company working on the prevention of certain cancers through an application, delivering information like reminders, notifications, has shown interest in another company working in the field of health in general, more of a horizontal platform, health platform. And thanks to artificial intelligence, that can be a complementary function on another type of cancer. So that collaboration is interesting, potentially interesting, because both can extend their offering and portfolios in each one of their operating markets. A final example, just not to keep you here because we have several, but just wanted to give you a taste of what kinds of interesting things and synergies SMEs have found from each other. A company from France developing a habitat diagnostic model that makes it possible to determine the level of adaptation of a home or a social housing for very specific needs, like and target groups like elderly people, people with mental health issues, etc. Got interested in potentially helping a Dutch SME with experience in AI, because they could adapt machine learning to enhance what is the definition of well-being. So here we see different potential synergies, whether it is an interest in being able to tap into a new market through a Springboard platform in another company, whether it is combining two solutions that can increase the breadth of a portfolio of two companies at the same time, or whether it is a very technical sorry, whether it is a very maybe technical feature or solution that could enrich a solution that maybe it's already in the market. And across these examples, we have several. So it is possible. It is already happening. And yeah, we just wanted to give you some real life examples and a bit of a taste of how things are going so far. Alex, could we go to the next slide? And just last but not least, what to do, at the end of today or tomorrow. Please register in the matchmaking platform. That's the first step, so everyone can have a visibility of your interest. Also, don't forget to, at the same time or after you register, contact your local organization for additional support. If you haven't already, we really try to understand what your challenges are forward, what your strategy is right now, what your potential needs are, so we could really have the story, the full side of the story, in order to be able to help you further in the start of the process, not only the start of the process, but the matchmaking part. Finally, please be mindful of communication that's coming in the matchmaking week. We'll shout out when it's coming and the exact date and the way to come forward with it. And that's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Aldo. I will keep the floor for the moment about your question session. But first, we will go through questions that we heard a lot of time during the last months. So the first one that I already saw on the chat was about applying a loan. So can I apply a loan or with a partner from the same region? So no, you will have to find a partner in one of the DigiPre regions. Like we already said, you can't apply with a partner for the same region as you. You will need to find a partner in a different DigiPre regions. You can check the DigiPre map to see which region are eligible. And another question is it possible to send in more than one application per SME? So, for example, you want to apply as a lead partner in one application and be a supporting partner in another one. So no, you can't. The setup of the project limits the possibility to have more than one application approved. So you will need to choose one application you will follow. So many details are available on the guide for applicant, which is available on the website on the open call page. So please take a look to this guide if you need information. And then of course you can contact us, and for the moment you can ask your question on the chat. So feel free to ask your question. So I saw that some of you have already posed a question, and I will read them. And please write your question in English so everyone can understand. So the first question is one of the requirements was a consumer-facing solution. We have a solution that is oriented to the health professionals. However, we are working on a solution for the end consumer. Can we apply? So I think this question is for Malin. Can you answer, please? Malin?
Yes. Sorry, I just needed to get my video sorted here. We are talking about maturity levels lower than 6, right?
No, we are
No?
talking about people that have solutions oriented to the health professional, and they are working on a solution for the end consumer.
I read the wrong question.
Yeah.
No, and like I mentioned earlier, we are targeting consumers, end users, and patients. To be very clear, healthcare professionals can be prescribers. They could also be payers of the solutions, but the solution itself should not be directed towards them. I saw in the chat that you also wrote that you are developing a solution targeting the end user, and yes, you could include that one in your application.
Okay, thank you, Malin. So the next one is about the maturity level. So can a startup with a lower level of maturity apply? So maybe Malin, you can continue.
Yes, I already tried to answer that question, but now we will get to it. Maturity levels below TRL 6 will be hard for us to accept. Since the entire design of the innovation support program is targeting companies that already has a product or a prototype, an advanced prototype. The design of it is focused on this. It will be hard for us to accept products that are in earlier stages, as they will not be mature enough or ready enough to get this extra push, the last push to get onto the market. So the answer is unfortunately no. At this stage, you cannot be at TRL 6 or lower. There, like I said, there are plenty of other wonderful initiatives and support programs and support systems targeting more early ideas. So there's quite a lot of help to receive out there, but unfortunately not within this project.
Okay, so I saw that one of the questions was, is there a similar program for startups? So maybe if you have a name of example of...
Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of them on a regional very local basis, but also there are national support programs across the European Union. So it kind of depends on where you are located, but if you want to send us an email, and we'll do our best. We are all in the field of innovation support, all the partners, so we could most likely be able to point you towards some form of structure or organization that can help you if you are looking for support in more early stages.
Yeah, I see that Mark is raising his hand, so maybe you can talk. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. We even can reverse the situation, because there are many project supporting programs for startups, acceleration programs, but are hardly any programs for this phase of maturity. So this is indeed another unique opportunity for companies that have a kind of a prototype solution but need this extra push to the market, to the international market. So many programs are there for early stage TRL levels, but there are really very rare opportunities for this more mature approach. So if you really want to benefit from it, this is a unique opportunity for this last phase. And that I want to emphasize, and also emphasize that this is only a 15-month program. So in this program, you cannot just develop your solutions too much. It's all about validation. It's about really upscaling and entering markets. So that's why we have this unique program for this more mature prototypes, I would say.
Yeah. So the next question is about the location of the DigiPree region. Can a company not located in one of the 10 region apply? So maybe Isabelle, if you want to take the floor. We can't hear you, Isabelle.
Sorry, I was muted. Can you? I had a disconnection with my.
Okay.
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, don't worry. Can companies not located in the 10 region apply?
Yes and no. They can apply as a silent partner. So they won't be a beneficiary of the support program. It's a possibility, and no, if they want to be beneficiaries of the support program. It's not. It's based on the DigiPree region. So. No.
Yes, I will just bring another question which is related to this one, about companies that want to have an office in one of DigiPree region. If they open an office in one of the region, can they apply?
Malin, what do you think about it?
Yes,
For me,
I can answer. Yeah. If we put it like this, it's strongly encouraged to use the current offices located in the DigiPree regions. But of course, we cannot prohibit people from setting up new offices in regions if they so wish. But for us, this is a project focused on the regions represented in the project. We want to see the effects going back into demands that we have touched upon already in the beginning of the project. So we want this to be a full circle. And by that also, it is important for us to have companies that are represented and actively working in the regions mentioned earlier. So both yes and no to this question as well. We very much prefer you to already be located in one of the regions. And also, just to add, you can always join as a silent partner if you are outside of the Digit3 regions where you can take part in the project, but you cannot receive direct financial support.
Thank you. So I have a next question, probably for Isabelle. Do we already have to have a partner for the application? So I think is that someone want to find a partner after the application phase. So
the answer is no. The application has to be filled in with all the partners, because you will have to present a consortium agreement between the partnership and the team. So if you don't have any partner, you can't apply. Is it a good answer, you think, Alexandre, or yeah?
Yeah, I think the question is about finding your partner after your application, after the application phase.
So no, it's not possible.
Okay, thank you.
Could I just add to
Yeah.
that? Like, I want to emphasize what Aldo just said, that if you have trouble finding a partner, we are here to help. It's one of the core functions of this project to bring SMEs together from different regions. So there is a lot of support to be had if you have trouble finding a company to send in your application with. So just to emphasize, sign up on the matchmaking platform and also make sure to reach out to your local representative. We will share the contact details with you shortly. And from that, we will do our very, very best to help you find a suitable partner in a suitable region.
Thank you. So the next one will be also for Isabelle. Does both partners have to be SME? For example, the lead partner is an SME and the other one is a large company.
If the idea for the consortia are to have 2 or 3 SMEs. So the second one, the large company could be part of the consortium, but not a beneficiary. So it can be part of the consortium as a silent partner. But the project is really focused on SMEs. That's why it's important to check your status according to the European Commission definition. And you have, if you remember, in the slide I presented in the open call information, you have the link to this tool assessment. So you can do it to see if you are SME according to the European Commission. But no, they can be part of the consortium. They can be part of the consortium, sorry, but they can be beneficiary of the program.
Yeah, really clear. Thank you, Isabelle. The next one is a financial question, so maybe for Malin. The leader received up to 50K, the supporting 20K, and the consortium leader, consortium 1 leader plus 2 support team can receive 90K. What about 140K?
You can also take this one as you like.
Yeah, Mark, you
can
take the lead.
Mark, I think it's more related to the consortium services. So
yeah,
why don't you go ahead and I can help if needed.
So if this is about having 1 leader SME and 2 supporting SMEs, so in total 3 SMEs, indeed, it will sum up to 90K support in cash, a maximum, of course, depending on the needs. And you're right, I made the example quite simple. There were for 2 SMEs, there was 140K in value in services, but every SME in this proposition can receive this 70,000 euro value of support services. So if there are 3 SMEs approved in an approved proposition, then they can get in total a value of 210,000 euros value of services. If they are all SMEs, if there are also a third party which is not an SME, this will not receive no cash and also no value in services, or just as a silent partner. But the 140K is only applicable if there are two SMEs in the proposition. Of course, if we have approved, we have a limited budget in total, so we have to match the total budget that we have with the amount of approved propositions. But in principle, the support value can be increased if there are more SMEs in the proposition.
Thank you, Mark. I don't know if you want to add something, Malin. I think it was pretty clear.
Yeah, I think it's also pretty clear. The 50K for the lead partner and the 20K for the supporting partner or partners, that's cash money contributions. And the 140 or 210, depending on how many partners, that is services that is provided from the consortium up to a value of that amount. So just to clarify that one thing is cash, the other one is services.
Yep. Thank you. So the next one is about if I'm still reading it currently about applying only once. So I already answered this question as one of the frequently asked questions, but maybe this question was about other open call. So maybe Malin, can people apply to DigiPre and also apply to other projects?
Yes, I would assume. I mean, if they want to participate in other open calls as well, we cannot stop you from that. But please be mindful of the restrictions that come with EU granted money, that they might not be able to share across projects. So I would suggest that if you are to apply to more than one project, make sure that your applications are not exactly the same, and that the focus of the application differs between the open calls.
Thank you, Malin. I have the next question also about the region. So if one of the partners is not exactly in the region, but very close, can they apply? Is it not discrimination? The EU support should be accessible for all. Or maybe Malin, if you want to answer it.
I will try. I wouldn't say that it is discrimination because we are part of an EU program that is called I3, which is focused on interregional investments, and the 10 companies that are part of this project consortium are closely linked to each of their regions. So in that sense, we can only work within this frame. It's unfortunate if you are outside in this particular project, but there might be other projects that cover the area where you are in that might be able to help instead.
Okay,
I don't know if anybody wants to add something on that note from the panel. Mark?
Yes, I would like to add also, and it's the EU that obliges us to have only partners from these regions. So it's the EU itself that bounds us to this kind of limitation. So it's not the EU that says, "Oh no, you're doing the wrong thing." No, we should do this according to these rules, according to this program, which is indeed, as Malin says, about interregional development and comes also from a different fund than, for example, Horizon Europe. So this is really focused on the different development of the regions. And therefore, we are also bound by the strict rules of this program to have only partners and new SMEs coming from these regions to take on board.
Yeah, I will just add that people outside of our region can still be part of the consortium as a silent partner. So at least we are not excluding everyone. Just we can support you with financial support. Just the difference between people between SME in new region and SME in external region. So then it's a question about the recording of the session. So like Mark told you, yes, we are currently recording this session, and it will be available through the website. You will have a following email in the following days with a link. So don't worry if you miss something, you can watch it later and have the answer to your question. And I have another question. So I will, it's a pretty long question, so I will read it and then I will decide who will answer it. So we have developed a solution for elderly care, where the elderly can identify what kind of preventive measures they need in order to increase their health and life quality. However, the elderly will not pay for the services, it will pay by the healthcare system. So solution is for the consumer/patient, but it will be paid by private or public healthcare providers. Can we apply? So maybe Isabelle?
My answer would be yes, because because the end user is the patient. So even if the solution is paid by the public healthcare providers, as the people are the beneficiaries, are the people who are using it, for me it's a yes. I don't know if you want to add something, but for me, yeah, it's a yes.
Yeah. So thank you, Isabelle. And we have a question about silent partner. Can we have more than one silent partner in an application? Isabelle?
Yes, for sure, you can, because you can have more than 2 or 3 people in your consortium. The only thing is that they won't have they won't have the support. They won't benefit of the support program, but they can be part of the consortium. Yes.
Thank you. Third question is about the number of sub-projects that will be approved. So maybe Malin? Maybe you, Malin?
Yes. We actually don't know the exact number, but we are looking at 10 to 12 projects. And this is because we have a grant of 900,000 euros to share with SMEs. And depending on the setup, if we have sub-projects or applications that has 1 or 2 supporting partners, the amount of support will differ. So at least 10 will be approved, given that they follow all the eligibility criteria, etc. But then, depending on the setup, it could also be up to 12. Yeah, it's we'll see. But we will approve as many projects as we can until we have spent our entire 900,000 euros. That's for sure.
Thank you, Malin. So do not hesitate to ask your question. We will, for the moment, we don't have a new question, but if we will still stay online for a few minutes. Yeah, Isabelle, you want to add something?
Yeah, just to tell everyone that if you want to apply and if you are interested in the call, be sure to read the reference document, which is the guide for applicant, which is available on the open call page, because all the information we delivered today are in the guide for applicant. And you also have access to all the templates you can have to fill in or to use. For example, we have a consortium agreement template, which is not a document to fill in as it is presented, but it's just to help you to see how to build a consortium and collaboration agreement between you. So yeah, that was it for me. Just to remind.
Thank you, Isabelle. We'll wait 2 or 3 minutes for additional question. Yes, Aldo, if you want to add something.
Yeah, I'd like to add an additional shout out to those interested or curious of applying as a lead partner. At around mid-October, there will be an info session to provide all of you with a bit more of a deeper details of what applying as a lead partner consists of, just to be able to be super clear on it, and that you get all the information you need. But we'll send out the invites and the links to dates and everything. So just wanted to keep that in mind.
Yeah, while we are on the subject of the lead partner webinar, we actually have a date. It's October 19th at 1:00. It will be a digital session.
Oh.
So please mark your calendars. We will, of course, include this in the thank you email that will be sent out after this webinar. So if you didn't have time to write it down now, you will be served with that information in the coming few days here.
Yeah, of course. And just to summarize everything that we talked about the last hour, I will leave the floor to Malin just to have a small recap.
Yes, thank you, Alex, for that, and thank you for bringing us through this session and hosting the Q&A very well. So just to sum up with a few words to leave you with before we close this webinar, this project is all about supporting SMEs and to solve the societal challenges that we face across our regions, across our nations, and across the globe. We see that collaboration is the only way that we could handle this. We are looking for digital solutions focusing on prevention, prediction, and remote care, and they need to be consumer-facing. And in order for you, for the SMEs, to reach market faster and to help predict people from getting sick or sicker, we have put together an innovation support program where you will receive access to customized support in different forms. You will receive access to new European markets and international markets. You will receive access to test beds or living labs in order to validate and demonstrate your product or service. You will receive capital in the form of funding and grant from the project itself, but also by bringing you into investor networks and putting on investor and pitch days. We can also provide you with access to regional public actors. And the icing on the cake is that you will get your own key account manager. All of the key account managers are experts within business advisory. They have started companies themselves. They have been on scale-up journeys. They have a lot of experience in helping companies, both assessing what they need in order to grow, but also helping them finding the right solutions for you to be able to proceed and get to market faster. So the key account manager will be your personal guide and mentor throughout this entire program. And that is really an add-on and a bonus into all of this. Yes, I think like I mentioned, also, we will provide you with your local contact persons. You see the regions mentioned here, the organizations, and also who you can reach out to. And please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are here for you. we're doing this entire project for the sake of SMEs and your growth. So we want you to be interested and we will do everything we can in order to help you get where you want to go. So do not hesitate to reach out to us at any time with any kind of question.
Thank you, Malin. And about this local contact, we will send this table in the following email. So don't worry if you don't write it down now. You will have the information in a few days. So don't worry about it. So that's it. Thank you everyone for attending this webinar. Thank you to all the panelists for participating in this presentation. And I see a question. So it's thank you. So don't worry. So thank you everyone for attending it, and do not forget to subscribe to the matchmaking. I think it's the real issue for the moment. You will have to register now to find your partner and apply until the deadline. And thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.